Hi, this is Corey Olsen, president of the Mythgard Institute and host of the Tolkien Professor podcast. And thinking about the theme of Tolkien and friendship, I wanted to read a couple short passages from one of my very favorite Tolkien works, which is his short story, Leaf by Niggle. So these passages are about Niggle and his neighbor Parish, and they come near the end of the story. Niggle sat down under a very beautiful distant tree, a variation of the great tree, but quite individual, or it would be with a little more attention, and he considered where to begin work, and where to end it, and how much time was required. He could not quite work out his scheme. "Of course," he said, "what I need is Parish. There are lots of things about earth, plants, and trees that he knows and I don't. This place cannot be left just as my private park. I need help and advice. I ought to have got it sooner." He got up and walked to the place where he had decided to begin work. He took off his coat. Then, down in a little sheltered hollow hidden from a further view, he saw a man, looking round rather bewildered. He was leaning on a spade, but plainly did not know what to do. Niggle hailed him. "Parish!" he called. Parish shouldered his spade and came up to him. He still limped a little. They did not speak, just nodded as they used to do, passing in the lane. But now they walked about together, arm in arm. Without talking, Niggle and Parish agreed exactly where to make the small house and garden, which seemed to be required. Skipping forward a little bit to the time of their separation, when Niggle is going to move on. For a moment a shadow fell between Niggle and Parish, for Niggle knew that he did now want to go on, and in a sense ought to go on, but Parish did not want to go on, and was not yet ready to go. "I must wait for my wife," said Parish to Niggle. "She'd be lonely. I rather gathered that they would send her after me some time or other, when she was ready, and when I had got things ready for her. The house is finished now, as well as we could make it, but I should like to show it to her. She'll be able to make it better, I expect, more homely. I hope she'll like this country, too." He turned to the shepherd. "Are you a guide?" he asked. "Could you tell me the name of this country?" "Don't you know?" said the man. "It is Niggle's country. It is Niggle's picture, or most of it, though a little of it is now Parish's garden." "Niggle's picture?" said Parish in astonishment. "Did you think of all this, Niggle? I never knew you were so clever. Why didn't you tell me?" "He tried to tell you long ago," said the man, "but you would not look. He had only got canvas and paint in those days, and you wanted to mend your roof with them. This is what you and your wife used to call Niggle's nonsense, or that daubing." "But it did not look like this, then, not real," said Parish. "No, it was only a glimpse then," said the man, "but you might have caught the glimpse, if you had ever thought it worth while to try." "I did not give you much chance," said Niggle. "I never tried to explain. I used to call you old earth grubber, but what does it matter? We have lived and worked together now. Things might have been different, but they could not have been better. All the same, I'm afraid I shall have to be going on. We shall meet again, I expect. There must be many more things we can do together. Good-bye." He shook Parish's hand warmly, a good, firm, honest hand it seemed. He turned and looked back for a moment. The blossom on the great tree was shining like flame. All the birds were flying in the air and singing. Then he smiled and nodded to Parish and went off with the shepherd. Thanks very much. Happy Tolkien Reading Day!